Welcome in to the on-time 68th ranked. Damn it, we are 68. The CHGO
We're in the field.
Bears Podcast. That's right, Lawrence Benedetto. If you go to Chartables and you look at sports...
Sponsored by
our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. That's right, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use the promo code, CHGO, when you sign up, and your life will just get that much better. That's right. We are in the missing Hoge formation today. Nicholas Moriano is slightly under the weather or, I don't know, taking his dog for a walk. I love his vlogs. The guy's unbelievable.
Maybe Nick might be shaving his mustache today.
Could be shaving the mustache. Nick's getting better. We miss you, Nick, but he's not covering today. So Hoge.
I think he's scared to play ping pong against me. He heard about me beating Woot.
Yeah, Lawrence is our best ping pong player right now if we're doing rankings, so congratulations.
Oh.
And I lost to you again, and it's bothering me. Also lost in my tennis match last night, which is also bothering me. But I'm happy to be here. Kevin Kaduk, head of content.
Finally,
damn it, let's go.
Finally, Jesus.
You
had one
That's
job,
my fault.
but you had to mention our sponsor right off the top.
Well, he failed on that, but then I got in the way, too.
I mean, Benedetto's just a little. I think you had the. Do you have the V at 5 coffee today?
No, I got the Intelligentsia.
Kevin's crunched
so
between the two most ADHD.
I'm just here to play peacekeeper and keep you guys on task.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
you're here for more than that.
Stuck between the two most ADHD guys on the CHGO
Maybe
team.
3, because I
Three,
counted them.
yeah. Lawrence, too.
Wait, you're saying that you don't have ADHD?
No, I have severe ADHD. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah. So we do have to start with the break.
So do you, by the way.
I do. I just completely. I just left you because I am back into Bears. And moment of silence. The Bears are going to place Jack Sanborn on injury reserve, so he is done for the season.
The Carm jinx
Where's his jersey?
is alive and well. You purchase his jersey. 10 days later, this happens?
I don't know when I purchased it. I'm not sure, when it arrived, but I did wear it for the first time. Thank you, Lawrence. Well, you can just, I don't know. I actually feel sad. I do feel sad right now, even though now I'm laughing at as Braggs plays taps for Sanborn, who's not dead. He's just on injured reserve, and I think we saw enough from Jack Sanborn to know that he will be a part of the Bears next year. And honestly, I think he still should be a candidate for NFL Rookie of the Year. Guy was so good. I loved him. 5'7". Get better soon. I knew yesterday when Flus talked, I said it to Hoge, and we'll have Hoge on from Halas coming up here, but I said to Hoge, I'm like, the way Flus just said that, he's definitely done for the season. He may be back, he might not, we'll see. I'm like, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
So
at least you saw what he's able to do, what he might be able to do in the future. So at least he is an answer to a future question.
yeah. And how many answers do we have right now?
Not a lot.
Not that many.
Jack Sanborn is one of them.
And I do, honestly, no questions allowed. Well, is Sanborn a piece for yes, he is.
Did you guys talk about the Jack Urlacher nickname?
The Sandlocker.
You don't like it?
What do you? Did you guys talk about it?
Yeah, he said he didn't like it. Adam said he didn't like it. How did you feel, Mark? Because I like Sandlocker.
It's a long pregnant pause over here, clearly. Urlacher, as a player, that honor for Sanborn is obviously enormous. Urlacher, off the field as of late, has gotten a little sideways. Now he's been on CHGO. We appreciate Brian coming on here, so I don't want to go too hard at 54. Bottom line, as I process this in my head, I think I'm down with it. It's a hell of a compliment for Jack Sanborn.
Yeah.
That's what it's meant
It's
for.
a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. I mean, obviously, Brian Urlacher, Hall of Fame talent. Nobody's suggesting that Jack Sanborn's going to the Hall of Fame. But the way they play, I don't know, just filling the gap and blowing up holes, that's what Brian was known for.
I heard David Haw mention Jackhammer. That's a good one, right?
The Jackhammer.
Isn't that what Joniak tried to pitch to him?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Quit looking at my brick juice, all right? Just stay on task.
What's in there again? That green weird. Why do you have ice? I don't know. Everything about
All right,
that thing
quit.
is weird.
You're getting distracted.
Shout out to James Orlando, who said, "Learn from me. My last Bears jersey I bought was a Danny Trevathan, and that did not turn out so well. LOL. Worst Bears jersey you own?"
I've never been a huge jersey guy.
It's the Khalil Mack Kmart special.
I think I think it has to be the Matt
Braggs.
Yeah.
I mean, I go the other way. Instead of worrying about the jinx, because that's how I used to be with certain players, you just buy every player's jersey, and then you don't have to worry about whether or not you're jinxing them or not. So the worst jersey I have by far in my closet is Jared Allen. That's the worst one. I mean, I thought he was. It was like big signing when we had it, and then I don't even remember him
We know that.
Yeah. No, I thought Jared Allen was going to be.
I like the idea of you just having an entire closet of a jersey of anyone who's ever made a 53-man roster for the Bears.
No, I really do.
I have a David Terrell jersey. I think the David Terrell jersey is at this point
I have
at a Goodwill somewhere.
See,
but
I pushed back.
I did have a David Terrell jersey at one point.
I pushed back on that. I have a signed David Terrell jersey, and I'm proud of it. I had a David Terrell jersey in my closet for years, and then he started hanging out some of the tailgates I used to go to, and one day I brought it and had him sign it, and I was very proud of that. David Terrell is like part of my childhood, my mid-teen years. I shouldn't say
very
childhood.
abbreviated part of it.
Hey, they made the playoffs one year with David Terrell. If you made the playoffs,
David Terrell made the playoffs with the Bears, not the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you played on a playoff team with the Bears, you don't have to buy a drink in this city the rest of your life.
Well, David Terrell actually
Cody Parkey would be proof positive that is not true.
Cody being the exception.
Okay, so David Terrell, as we got a lot to get into on the show today. Let me just give you guys a little bit of a heads up of where we're going.
Rundown.
Yeah, right. That's correct, Briggs. We're going to do a little bit of a rundown. We're gonna have Hoge on from Halas Hall. He's going to tell us about his grades at some point as well, and all the news out of there. There's more stuff coming out. Not to jump at him, but your honorary captain this week is Sam Mustipher. That is a nice tip of the cap to a guy who's been a great teammate this year and has taken a lot of flack from Bears fans for not being an all-pro center / guard. But Sam Mustipher's had a good season, and he gets to be the honorary captain this week. I don't see any excitement on the set for Sam Mustipher being the honorary captain. Kaduk, you look miserable on that news.
I mean, great guy, but when we're talking about the next great Bears team, Sam Mustipher is not part of it.
He could be a part of the rotation. He could be one of the great backup linemen on the next great Bears team. Come with me. Come on. Backup Mustipher.
Are you gonna buy a Sam Mustipher jersey?
I wouldn't actually mind a Mustipher.
Don't do it.
If I was going to go Bears jersey right now, I mean, you got to go Fields.
Obviously.
But if
it's Brisker.
But if you're taking Justin off the board,
Brisker.
you go Brisker?
Yeah. I said I was going to get one, and I still haven't because I'm worthless.
I was holding out on the Fields jersey. I have made the decision that I'm going to buy it, but I'm confused about all the different levels. I mean, I want to buy a nice one because I feel like it's a good investment. I bought the most expensive Jonathan Taves jersey you could buy in 2009, 2010, and it's still great. You know, like you could probably bury me in that jersey. I want the same thing for Justin Fields, but they've got like Vapor Elite, Premium. I don't know the difference.
See, and this is where
get the cheapest one that looks good.
Well,
seriously.
that's the issue too. Is like, okay, a lot of these things are designed for people who look like Justin Fields and not people who look like me, right? So it's like, okay, do I just need the NFL jersey that they designed for most of the fat people who follow
that one? But if you want to
league?
get it with the stitched as opposed to the ironed on.
Well, yeah, I want the stitching, right? Like,
the stitching.
But I don't need it like
you
slim.
Don't need the,
I don't need it
don't
slim
need
cut.
I
need it to be
field
flattering.
worn one. No, that's the one you get signed and framed.
I hate to take a right turn, but can we please discuss the TJ Folks? Carm is the Sam Mustipher of the CHGO staff.
No, come on now.
I mean, I'm going to take that as a compliment, TJ.
Carm is a very valued member of our team, and when we make the next jump, whatever our next jump for CHGO is, Carm will be an integral part of that process.
God bless. Thank you for that. I'll sleep well tonight.
Carm is like Sanborn. He's got his hair on fire
Not
every
Sanborn,
morning.
He said Mustipher.
I know. I'm saying you're more like Sanborn. You know, you come in with your hair on fire every day, trying to find the angles. You're quiet over there. You're on your laptop looking for the storylines.
We got good stuff today. I was doing the rundown, which I got sidetracked on. We're going to do, because there is a conversation going around about, obviously, how unbelievably fun it is to watch the Bears this year because of Justin Fields, even though the Bears are on the verge of losing 8 in a row for the first time since, I've got that list coming up here too. In one season, you got to go all the way back to, let's see, hold on a second here. WGN-TV put this out, so credit to the old GN-TV.
Say 2003 or 2004.
2002, they're playing at Memorial in Champaign. They started 2-0 and then lost their next 8.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, also included David Terrell at that point. just to bring that.
Not his fault.
They snapped their 8-game skid November 24th. They beat the Lions and Marty Morningwood 2017.
For my money, that was the worst Bear season of my lifetime. I mean, probably not by analytics or record, but 2002 was just depressing on so many different levels.
I was, to be honest, if we go back to 2002, for me, completely checked out. They did not exist to me at that point. I don't know where I was.
After they made the playoffs.
Did you guys go to
before
either?
Lovey.
Did you guys go down there first?
I didn't go down.
I went down there.
Didn't go.
I saw them play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Tampa Bay Bucs won the Super Bowl that year. Mike Allstott, Warren Sapp was taunting the crowd, and a young Greg was in a trailer with some people that I knew, and we had like a RV, and Michael McCaskey came in, and I was wearing my division championship shirt from the year before, and he said, "Nice shirt, kid."
That's like your Mean Joe Green moment, but just not quite the same.
I wish you would have had my David Terrell jersey at that point.
I don't think it was George McCaskey. I'm pretty sure it was Michael, but it was a McCaskey.
RM, you're totally right. Last year was an absolutely miserable experience. Fields wasn't good. You knew they were getting fired. We were waiting for the end. It was a bad year, and not as bad as the end of the Fox era, where we were.
That was just a different kind of depressing. Like 2002 was. They were coming off the playoffs in 2001. The games were played in a crappy college stadium.
Right.
And it was bad.
Like last year we had a quarterback. That year we didn't have a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, Lovey wasn't there yet. That was the worst. This is the worst year ever.
Like not even close. This
for any Chicago sports team we've had.
Agreed. This I think we all have, for the most part at least, enjoyed the season. But so along those lines, though, we've enjoyed the season because we've
hold on, we got a good super chat here from Vibing with the Dogs. Elise, is that right?
Elise, my friend Elise.
She says, 2016 was terrible. Matt Barkley made me question my fandom.
It's a fair questioning at that point. I kind of liked Barkley for at least 3. I liked him for maybe 3 days, even 3 weeks. I was into Barkley. This could be the answer. Barkley's our guy. Who was the other quarterback that year? Was the same as Barkley? Come on, Braggs. You're Mr. Nothing gets by you. 2016 Bears. Hold on. He was the same as Matt Barkley. Kaduk, you're the same way here. I guess.
Jimmy Clausen, right?
No.
That was in 2016.
That was also terrible.
Hold on. Carm research on the fly. This is a bad job. It was Hoyer.
Hoyer.
I think it was
McCown.
Hoyer, Barkley.
No, McCown was good.
Quarterbacks that started a game that year. 6 starts for Barkley, 5 starts for Hoyer, 5 starts for Cutler.
Yes.
Cameron Meredith threw 1 pass.
Let's go.
He also started. I liked Cameron Meredith.
Poor Cam Meredith got hurt.
Yeah.
Right when he was going to take off.
That was too bad.
I was going to buy his jersey.
But so, okay, here's the question for you, as we'll have Hoge coming up in, 10 minutes or so from now. Not exactly sure on the timing there, but he's coming up. Here's the question for you. Where, and chime in here on the chat, where does Justin Fields rank in all-time entertaining, you look forward to, will pay money to go to the stadium to see him, or if you're at home, you are absolutely 100% making sure that you are in front of the TV screen to see this person play whatever sport it is? Where does Fields rank in year 2 when you compare him to all-time Chicago athletes that you really, really, really love to watch. And these can be, it doesn't have to be the best player, but somebody who just straight entertained you and like, I am watching because I love this guy. Kevin, you want to go first?
I'm gonna let Braggs go first.
Okay, Braggsy, what do you got?
Putting me on the spot. Well, this is tricky. I mean, because Justin Fields is only in his second year, and this is the first year where it's like become this superstar must-see TV. I mean, he wasn't even running like this last year, which I have no idea why or how. When he has this ability, you would have thought he'd have just taken off and run a bunch last year too, but we only saw it once last year against the San Francisco 49ers. Now it seems like he does it every week. But obviously Michael Jordan's going to be number one on our list. I mean, that goes without saying. It doesn't need much explanation. He's the greatest of all time, and I feel lucky that I was able to live through most of the Jordan years.
Right.
Jordan is one.
Yeah.
Agree. I don't know if he's one for everybody. He's certainly one for me.
What? If he's not, well, if you didn't watch him
If
play,
you're like
fine.
a diehard Bears fan, Jordan might not be your one. You might be more.
I do not care if you don't have Michael Jordan one, you are the dumbest Chicago sports fan of all time. Unless you didn't see him play.
What if you're an old timer who was at Wrigley Field when Gale Sayers scored 6 touchdowns?
If you don't have Michael Jordan, number one, you are the dumbest, and you watched him play.
This is not. But hold on. This is not a. It's not an intelligent. This is an emotional.
It's not the best athlete. It's like who gave you like the biggest rise. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I would respect some like old school folk
Michael
with like
Jordan.
If
Sayers.
somebody wants to make a case for Devin Hester right now,
I was
going to
say Devin's name should maybe be on this list.
Michael
Gale
Jordan.
Sayers is up there.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Personal list, then I can't insult people. But Michael Jordan
You can.
transcended.
We're just gonna push back on you.
Michael Jordan transcended sports
No,
and
I mean,
everything.
look.
He's the greatest. Even his McDonald's
He
commercials
is the correct
with Larry
no,
Bird were
He is
exciting.
the correct answer, but I think that there's more entries for number one on this list. I think there's that. I think you can have debates.
Jordan
for
is
other
so
people.
above and beyond, like somebody said, in the
Right.
RM said in the count. He doesn't even count. That's how obvious that answer is. Number two.
Pause for 1 second. Mubs, I knew I loved you. Our level of respect just went completely over the top when you throw Derrick Rose in there. Thank you. Go ahead over there. Which Rose is obviously on my
My
list.
number two is my favorite Chicago Bear of all time, Devin Hester. Without question. Cordero Patterson did not make my list. Carm. Devin Hester.
That's unfortunate.
Devin Hester was Michael Jordan with the ball in his hands. He was that guy that when everyone in the stadium, like Jordan, when you knew the game-winning shot was on the line and they're in the timeout huddle coming out of commercial break, everybody knew Michael was going to take the shot. And Devin Hester, everybody knew he was going to take it back, and he did it anyway. Even though you knew he was going to do it, he did it anyway. And the thing about Devin that was so amazing is it's 11-on-1. When you're running a play on offense, you don't know where the ball is going. When a kick return or a punt, you know who's getting the ball, and you still can't stop him. Devin Hester was the greatest Chicago Bear of my lifetime, and I don't think that.
What did you do when he ran the kickoff back in the Super Bowl? What did you do?
I went absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Devin's my guy. He's the I called it of my whole life because I did call it when we drafted him. I was a big fan of his coming out of Miami, and I said he would I literally told my buddy he would revolutionize the game because I was that enamored with how great he was with the Hurricanes.
You know who he like Braggs was also big on out of school?
I can't wait for
Velus
this.
Jones Jr.
UT did love Velus.
I like
So
Velus.
that can't-
But I didn't say revolutionize.
that cancels it out.
No. I wasn't as high. I just said that Velus had abilities that we don't normally see with the Bears, which is true. Velus is a lot like Cordero Patterson, which is why he's not on my list.
Tough loss last night, Gary. I got in my head. It was awful.
Devin Hester,
Thank you.
greatest Bear of my life.
Okay.
3, I got to get through this list a little quicker.
How many do you have?
Well, I'm going to go quicker.
Okay.
3, Sammy Sosa, must-see TV. I had,
Can we pause right there for a second? The Cub fan crew who used to love Sammy but turned on Sammy, you really need to check yourself.
I feel like you're subtweeting the Ricketts family right now.
It's disrespectful.
It is.
Because I feel like they're the only people actually getting in the way of that.
Right,
I mean,
and now
like-
they show little.
I think Sammy has a little bit to do
Now
with
they
it.
have highlight stuff they put up during between innings at the game at Wrigley on the Trinitron, but they won't let Sammy come himself.
Sammy wasn't perfect. Sammy was a cheater. Sammy was a multiple cheater on many levels. you went to Wrigley Field for Sammy.
Sammy and Mark saved baseball.
It was
coming off the strike shortened season. Sammy and Mark literally had all of America stopping what they were doing. It got to a point where they were literally, I mean, you saw it with the Aaron Judge stuff where they were cutting into other games that people would rather watch. Well, back then, they were cutting into games to show you Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa in the home run race. It captivated all of America, and this was before anybody knew they were cheating. Sammy, definitely number 3.
No one, literally no one ever lit up Wrigley Field like Sosa did. It's just that is a fact.
All right, let me get through this list quick.
Many days at Wrigley where it was
if you keep interjecting
crazy.
after every pick of mine, Kevin's never going to get his list.
Okay.
And I'm sure we have similar
you have
ones.
3 more that you can do.
I didn't know we were supposed to do a list.
He told me list, and I was like, you better give me a number.
I have
this is what I
ideas
do.
of players. Yeah.
Derrick Rose is 4. I would put Justin Fields ahead of Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose won MVP and was must-see TV when he was healthy, and one of the greatest Bulls, obviously, of my life, short of any of those 90s greats. Justin Fields sits at 5, and he has an opportunity to move all the way up past Devin Hester at 2 if he takes this team to a Super Bowl and wins one, something I've never seen. It's my holy grail now for my Chicago sports teams. I've seen the Bulls win 6. I've seen my Cubs win a World Series. I'm not a big hockey guy. So for me now to see the Chicago Bears win a Super Bowl, I was only 2 months old. If that can be done, he will top Devin Hester. But I don't know if he'll ever be my favorite player of all time like Devin is. But Justin, he may. I'm giving him that opportunity. But as far as must-see TV, number 2, if he can get there. We're right now number 5. Number 6, Brian Urlacher, Hall of Fame.
Just rip the route.
Number 7, Scottie Pippen. People underestimate how great Scotty was because of Michael. Number 8, Dennis Rodman. Must-see TV. Yeah. You tuned in just to see the color of his hair in 1996, 97, and 98. Must-see TV, even when he was wearing a wedding dress and signing books. Number 9 Kevin made me think, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. I'm not a White Sox fan, but there's no question going to Comiskey Park in the early 90s. Frank. Number 35, Frank Thomas. Gene Honda.
Pretty good Gene Honda.
That was a good Gene Honda.
Yeah. Gene Honda's just as legendary.
You don't have a list of 100, do you?
And then my final 2 that are sneaker guys.
There's 2
Ben
more.
Gordon. People don't realize
I have him on my
for
list.
a 2-year stretch
I have him on my
how
list.
insanely good Ben Gordon was.
Hit the like button for Ben
I can
Gordon.
remember people holding up signs that said like Jordan who. Well, when Ben was going on he went on a run where like almost every other night he was hitting a game-winning shot and dropping like 24 points in the fourth quarter. It was an unbelievable run for Ben Gordon. And my final one, for one season, Khalil Mack, must-see TV in 2018 when we traded for him that whole season. And he even surpassed Julius Peppers as far as must-see TV. Julius Peppers was just great. Mm-hmm. But for a lightning in the bottle year, Khalil Mack was like, wow.
Yeah, okay.
And that's my list.
That's an excellent list, and we're going to pause there because I think we have Hoge coming up. Am I right about that, Lawrence?
Oh, we do.
Okay. Before we get there though, let's get you caught up on things that are incredibly important. We'll talk to Adam. A lot of Bears news today that we touched on, but we'll get the details coming up in a second. But first off, DraftKings, as we mentioned, our official sports betting partner in the NFL. You want to be living the DraftKings dream. All you got to do right now, download the app. You bet $5 on any NFL team to win a game. You get $150 in free bets if they do. $5 for $150. And the DraftKings Sportsbook. Hello, Adam. The DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Oh,
You're not on yet, but even though you are on,
he goes, what up?
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code CHGO. Place a $5 bet on any NFL team. I forgot that I gave Braggs this read and he was supposed to do it.
Yeah,
so
I was just about to say.
Sorry about that, buddy. $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game. You get $150 in free bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use that code CHGO. And
I had the most amazing beat last night, but we're not going to bother with it. It's just,
what happened?
I want to hear it.
Just let me. No, we can talk about it later. We'll talk about it at the show.
This is the ADHD crew.
All I know is that last night there was some spectacular, brutal beats happening in the Packers game. But continue.
Okay. I will also tell you about Athletic Greens. There is no better way to get yourself healthy without doing the full vegetable diet when you start taking AG1. I looked at Nicholas Moriano, to be honest, and he got me hooked on the AG1. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. You want to win in your rec league. You want to be healthy for your family. You want to feel good. Athletic Greens is the way to do your life. Your AG1 takes your lifestyle. It's very simple. Put it in to your friendly drink, and all of a sudden you are living a lifestyle-friendly, eating healthy, keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, all of it, less than 1 gram of sugar. You don't want the sugar in the diet. All of that is the way to go. Athletic Greens is also giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and free travel packs with your first purchase. So all you do, athleticgreens.com/CHGO, athleticgreens.com/CHGO, and all of a sudden you're getting the 5 free travel packs of the vitamin D, and you're also taking ownership over your health and picking up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Kevin.
Want to point out to everyone that gift memberships are now available for CHGO. So if you're looking for a last-minute Christmas or Hanukkah present,
Day 3 of Hanukkah,
hit up allchgo.com. We're going to give you a code. You give that code to one of your friends, your family members. They take that code. They get a membership. They get a CHGO shirt in a box, a membership card in a box, a sticker pack in a box, and then they get a year-long membership.
So the box
Discounts
is the
on
key,
merch.
right?
The box is the key.
Okay,
I
right.
mean, the box is pretty cool. Box is going to arrive in mail. It won't
Is it-
arrive in time by Christmas, but
Is it 6? How many sides of this box? 6?
what is this, a math problem?
I don't know. It's just like we're talking about the box. It's more about what's inside the box.
I think I might be
What's
the
in the
least
box?
ADHD.
Hey, can we go back up to the super chat for Monty? Because Monty right now just has a great appeal for CHGO. CHGO has it all. Adam with the insight, Will with the random information, Nick with the looks, Woot with the player's take, and Carm with the glizzies. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
At
that
least
was.
I'm on-
And I don't know what
yesterday. Don't worry.
brags.
Yeah.
and Brags.
And
Brags.
And screw Brags.
Everyone's got their favorites.
Okay.
Anyway, hit up allchgo.com. And, if you're not a member yourself, maybe treat yourself for the holidays.
Whatever,
We're here
Yeah.
for you.
Whatever, Monty.
We appreciate all the support.
Brags
and
with the brick juice.
Brags
You
with the
could've
brick
just
juice. There you
added
go.
that. Maybe
All right.
you didn't have enough characters.
All right,
you know,
take a
from-
deep breath.
Brags
over
with the bizzies. Carm with the glizzies.
Let's bring in Adam Hoge live from Halas Hall, as we can see him there with the I don't know what's going on there. I see a PNC Center, the whole deal. A bunch of news coming out today. We've got Sanborn news, we got Jenkins news, we got Flus talking about 3 techniques. But let's start with Justin Fields, because correct me if I'm wrong, he spoke as well, right? And is not exactly in love with NFL officials.
Well, first of all, how dare you interrupt a conversation between myself and the great Ike Isaac from WGN9? Okay.
Hi, Ike.
Also, you should really pay attention to the shows that we do, because if you did, you would know we covered glizzies yesterday. That's the hot dog in the beer straw thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are at these shows, right?
Yeah, but that hot dog thing.
I heard that word, and it didn't compute.
It was that hot dog thing was so disturbing that I didn't remember the glizzy moment because I was in another realm there. But you're right.
You blacked out. It's fine.
That is on me. And for the record, Ike is officially my guy. I don't know if you get credit for that. I mean, I've read his book, him and Rich King, so you cannot lay claim to Ike. But we also go shopping for the suits at the same place. Ike and I have been in a hotel room together doing undercover suit purchases. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that just got really weird.
I'm doing a terrible job today, keeping you in line.
Yeah. Come on, Kevin, get it together. So Justin got asked about the Ndamukong Suh, crack to the head that was pretty obvious to anybody watching on TV. And he just wasn't necessarily any quote that he said that'll get him in trouble or anything, but you can just tell sort of the frustration. He's like, I mean, it keeps happening over and over and over again, and I'm going to ask the officials for the calls. And he's like, hopefully I get one before the season's over, because It's and it's not even a new topic. This went on last season. It was a topic in the preseason. I think he actually did get a call or two in the preseason, or was that like week 1 but it's been a while, and it's a frustration that I think we all have, that Bears fans all have, and more so than anyone else, Justin Fields has.
Is he kidding? Does he come across as like super upset by it, or is he kind of laughing when he says, "Hopefully, I'll get one of these calls one day"?
I mean, all of the above. I think he's being careful with it because he doesn't want to get fined. But at the same time, I think I think his point today was, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to, fight for myself. I'm going to fight for the calls. In the same way that Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or any other veteran quarterbacks in the league will do so when they want to call. You see it in every single game. And he's not getting them, so he needs to, because I think what's concerning to me when this keeps happening every week is we've heard Matt Eberflus talk about how they submit these plays to the league every week. It's not like the organization isn't voicing their displeasure behind the scenes. It's happening, and those officials every week are getting briefed on that, or at least they should be. Yeah. And he's still not getting the calls in the game. So it's unfortunate.
Did anybody ask him about how he's feeling? Like, he took a lot of punishment.
Yeah, that came up. I think classic, it's week 16. That's how I feel. I feel like it's week 16. It was sort of his answer. Bumps and bruises, not 100%, going to fight through it. I don't think there's anything concerning beyond what we know, which is that shoulder's not 100%. And I think his legs at a certain point aren't, maybe tired's the right word. They just have the miles on them that they do during a long season. And it's something to monitor, but I don't think it's anything that holds him back from doing exactly what he did Sunday, this Saturday against the Bills.
So Tevin Jenkins is back in the building and apparently okay?
Yeah, it's I mean, some of the other news, which we'll get to in a second, is not as optimistic. But in considering Tevin Jenkins getting put on a stretcher and taken out of there and taken to a hospital with a neck injury, that's always concerning. And in this case, it seems like he dodged a bullet. Corey Wooten has brought up the idea of a stinger a few times, and maybe that's all it was. But the reality is he's back in the building. He's in meetings today. Matt Eberflus even said there's a chance he could practice this week. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow. I think today there will be an injury report, but it'll be an estimated because they're just doing a walkthrough. So my guess is he'll be technically a DNP today. It did not practice, but at least as we stand here on Tuesday afternoon, he certainly hasn't been ruled out to play against the Bills on Saturday, which would be pretty awesome, quite frankly, considering we weren't just worried about the season on Sunday. We were worried about his career for a moment. So that's definitely good news.
Yeah, when you get taken off on a stretcher, I mean, that's definitely the fear there. So glad he's okay for sure. Adam, I was at the coldest recorded game in Bears history, in Soldier Field history in 2008 when Alex Brown blocked the kick against the Green Bay Packers on a primetime stage late in December. I think it was like -15 with the wind chill. Saturday looks like similar conditions. It looks like it's going to be some snow, potentially snow on the ground, and below freezing temperatures once again. Anything you're hearing from those guys? I know we watched the Bills play in the snow here last week against the Dolphins, so I know they're used to these conditions, but we don't get as many. We haven't had as many snow games. We've been in plenty of rain games. Anything we're hearing about them, dealing with the cold this week?
Yeah, and I think the cold's really going to be what the problem is. If anything, it seems like the snow will be tapering off by at least Saturday morning, and they'll do a good job getting it cleared away, at least on the field. Could still be in the stands maybe for some snowballs like we saw in that Dolphins-Bills game on Saturday. But I think in terms of
people there to actually throw snowballs.
Yeah, if the refs don't give Justin Fields a call, how many snowballs could potentially come their way?
Ice balls.
Well, let's do our duty here and say we do not
we do not condone that.
Yeah, I once got hit. Kevin will like this story. When I was doing sidelines for Northwestern, a Northwestern Wisconsin game at Camp Randall, and I ventured down towards the student section at one point. And, as a sideline reporter, you're wearing team gear. So I'm wearing Northwestern stuff, especially because it was cold and they had given me a nice warm jacket to wear. And all of a sudden I'm getting pelted by snowballs from the Wisconsin student section. I'm like, come on, guys, this is friendly fire here. You guys, come on, this isn't fair. No, so hopefully that's not going on Saturday. I do think this is a little interesting because first of all, Flus said the coldest game he had been a part of was also at Soldier Field when the Cowboys were there in 2013, and the Bears beat the Cowboys. That was Mike Ditka jersey retirement night.
The Bears didn't punt that night.
Yeah, they played very well. They scored a lot of points despite that cold weather. Flus was like, you got to put Vaseline on your face. It's something you got to deal with. I think it's interesting from the quarterback matchup. This will definitely be Justin Fields' coldest game that he's ever played in. And Josh Allen has more experience with that, obviously, with his time in Buffalo so far, but also playing college football in Wyoming versus, doing so in the Big Ten or in Ohio for Justin Fields. And I think that, it's just I look at this like as another box to check for this season. These types of games, as you're bringing up, 2008, 2013, they happen, maybe every 6, 7, 8 years. It's gonna be something that Justin Fields has to deal with playing games at Soldier Field at least maybe 1 or 2 more times before they move to Arlington Heights, right? Carm?
See, I'm getting annoyed and Braggs tweeted today with it. How many times
he tweeted with that voice? That was impressive.
I'm getting a little bothered because how many times do I have to say on this show right here, looking at you and your beautiful blue eyes?
I didn't even tag you in this tweet.
I understand, but we're on the same team. We're CHGO brothers. I am down for the dome on the lakefront. I'm down for the dome on the lakefront.
I'm always
down
for the dome.
You're down for something that can never happen. Yeah.
Why can't it? Okay, I like to live in a little bit of fantasy land. That's true, but it's not like you can't just say it could never happen. Of course it could happen. Of course it could happen. It's not going to happen unless I broker it and become the hero of this city for the 5 million people that still want the Bears to be on the lakefront. But it could happen. It's not like
you should run for mayor.
I'm not asking you to put like a.
He missed the deadline. I told him to apply that deadline day, and you didn't.
Dude,
and honestly, Adam, last week, the Eagles game, it was pretty cold. From the people that were there that texted me, they said it was pretty bitter cold. I know this Saturday is going to eclipse it with the technical temperature scale, but, it was pretty cold. Jalen Hurts said he couldn't feel his hands to start the game. And just watching in the game, Jalen Hurts looked miserable out there. I think Josh Allen's a little more used to it, it seems like. So Justin at least had that. And Corey said on the post game that in the cold, when he got cramped up, sometimes you can get cramped up a little easier in the cold weather because you're not hydrating as much as you would in the warm weather. So I guess that's something to monitor here for the game on Saturday.
Let me just dovetail off that. Adam, you've covered the league for 10 plus years. Have you heard about guys getting IVs before games, like that's been a thing? Because
sure.
I looked it up today, and apparently it goes on all over across the league. Like 75% of dudes are doing that. I did not know that until Fields is talking about it. I'm like, is this a thing? And apparently it is. So
it's relatively common. You definitely hear more about it, in the early months of the season in August and September when the weather's hot, or if you're like going down to play the Dolphins in Miami, something like that. But I think it gets back to what I was just talking about, though. I just think it's with the record the way it is and what the Bears are playing for, like, to me, it's all about experience, right? And so it's kind of it sucks that Fields had to leave that game on a crucial third down, but it's still a good learning lesson. And now you get another cold game the following week. It's going to be even colder. And Flus talked yesterday about how that's something that the nutrition staff and the trainers got to get together and just make sure that, the starting quarterback's not leaving the game in a crucial moment because he's cramping up. And so now they get another opportunity to work on it. And I think just like playing, regardless of if it's cramps or dehydration, just playing in these cold weather games, it's good experience to get those reps in no matter what the results are.
Says here, according to a recent study, around 3/4 of NFL teams, quote, hyperhydrate. That doesn't mean that everyone's doing it, but like they at least have access to the quote the IVs before the game. According to research, many of the head trainers stated that the reason they take these pregame fluids was to help prevent muscle cramps. Study also noted that a majority of players were the ones that requested the IV treatments. So, at any rate, I don't know.
Lawrence
Lawrence
get to the grades. Come on.
No. I got one more thing on that that's important.
I think it's interesting. Maybe I'm the only one.
No, I agree with you. I think it is interesting. And if you walk around, I don't know if I've necessarily seen them this year, but definitely in the past, even inside the Walter Payton Center or other areas of the building, you'll see actual signs reminding the players, this is how much you're supposed to drink a day in water consumption. It even gets pretty detailed, what color your urine should be if you're hydrating properly. It's a constant reminder at all times.
What color is it supposed to be, Adam?
Clear.
Brick juice color.
Okay.
Brick juice color.
Clear.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
Not the
color.
The IVs that and maybe Braggs has it in there. They've got electrolytes, B vitamins, vitamin C, other nutrients, right all in that juice right there. Braggs is an NFL
he needs some
player.
brick juice.
All right.
Get him the brick juice.
Good enough. Adam, what else we got before you head on out here?
Well, I think we're supposed to do grades, right?
Yeah, and just
Unless
news
you wanna
for
do it
today.
tomorrow.
We'll do grades coming back. Yeah. No, we're gonna do grades. We're gonna do some commercial. We're gonna let people know what they need to know, and then we'll come there. But can you just tell me about Elijah Lee, who apparently is the Jack Sanborn replacement? A Niner, a Brown,
No.
a Lion.
I can't.
You can't do anything on Elijah Lee.
Literally never heard of him.
I never have
They
either.
they have brought in team. Let me be the first to tell everybody. There is an Elijah Lee. He is on the Bears. He, according to my research here, which is Pro Football Reference, he went to college at Kansas State, and he's been in the NFL. He was born in Blue Springs, Missouri, which is a great town, and he was originally drafted in the 7th round by the Minnesota Vikings, number 232 overall.
From the Chiefs last year, so Paul's little inside information on him.
Hashtag Elijah Lee. Bears.
Wasn't on Adam's list of things to talk about.
It was not on the list, but, not everything has to be on the Hoge list. The man is he's Mr. NFL. All right, let's get yourself saving money. Let's get yourself rocking with the energy, and let us give a shout out to our friends at ComEd and their energy efficiency program, which is committed to helping families and businesses and our communities save money and save energy. This is what you do. You don't wait. You want to start saving money today, right? I know I do. Here's how you do it. You go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz, or you call them 855-433-2700, or you email them, Lawrence, business at ComEd.com. You ask them to come out and assess your facility. Within 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to be saving dough, and you're going to be operating at a level that is brand new to your home/business situation. The ComEd facility assessment is a great thing to do, both for your pocket and for the world. Kevin.
I'm going to talk about Shady Rays. Now, Shady Rays never understood why sunglasses were so expensive. Neither did I. I didn't do anything about it, but they did. They set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this winter because, the sun comes up off that snow. You need a good pair of sunglasses.
Blinding.
Right? Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. And the best part about Shady Rays is that they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear, lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us at CHGO that they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. If you drop them in the lake, off of a cliff, lose them in a snowbank playing Walter Payton, which is what I'm going to do this year.
There you go.
You still do that? I still do
Oh,
it.
yeah, like you build a snow mound and then jump over it?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
With the football?
Yeah.
I like mine.
Anyway, if I lose my shades doing that this week, Shady Rays is going to send me a new pair. Or if I break them, which is probably more likely. Shady Rays customers seem to agree with over 200,000 5-star reviews. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed and have donated over 20 million meals to date. They stand behind their product and told our team that if anyone has a problem, they throw profit out the window and do what it takes to get it right. Free returns and exchanges. You either love the shades or Shady Rays pays to ship them back.
Customers always right at Shady Rays.
Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. That's buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54, which is insane. Redeem that only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades. Again, use code CHGO.
Look good, feel good. Shady Rays. Save money. All right. Back out to Halas Hall and Adam Hoge, and here come the grades. And I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that the quarterback might have made that top tier.
Yeah, the quarterback is on there. I think Lawrence has his ready to go. So, yeah, Justin's on there with another solid game. I did kind of separate his rushing, his kind of the pluses in the rushing game compared to passing. And but he still played well. He wouldn't have been in the blue tier chip just on his passing alone, but he still played well in that, from the passing part of things as well. But really, I think the headline here is Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson both playing well, and I'm going to have more on the secondary here in the our newsletter that comes out tomorrow morning for the CHGO diehards.
What impressed you most about Gordon, Adam, when you went back through?
Just like his ability to, get his hands on the ball, right? Like this is we've talked about this with Jalen Johnson. If they're going to preach takeaways and make that such a big focus of this, of this program, then you're gonna have to do that. And so to see Kyler Gordon come back from the concussion and get his hands on the football and get those takeaways, that was huge.
Yeah. All right, long-term starter tier. Who we got?
And just real quick, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up pretty fast because other people need this area. So I'm just going to warn you there. But let's talk about quickly about, Jack Sanborn ending up here and ending his season with another strong game. David Montgomery is a frequent, makes frequent appearances either in this tier or even higher. I think it's notable that Travis Gibson had a good game. It's been a few weeks since one of the defensive linemen ended up, with a solid game. And Byron Pringle had a good game. It wasn't just a touchdown, but he blocked very well, and especially considering EQ went out early, I thought he stepped things up. And so those are a couple guys that have had quiet seasons that actually played well against the Eagles.
Time to get a 13 jersey. All right, last one, and then you can get on out of here, and we'll give the space back to other very important people out at Halas. Our bottom tier, and there it is. No surprises, really. Well, actually, there are surprises on there, mainly the tight end.
Yeah, well, Cole allowed one of those sacks. Was that the one where the ball came loose? He got beat by, I think it was Reddick at one point.
Yeah.
It did come loose, and we recovered it, and that was the 2nd and 27 when Fields went nuts. But yeah. Right.
So there were a couple blocking issues in there. Off the top of my head, what was the other thing? There were a couple negatives in there, and then really the 4 catches he had, he wasn't able to do a ton. Remember that one he got caught from behind?
It's in the picture there.
Yeah, he clipped his heels there. Otherwise, I think he runs away from that guy. But that's a big defensive lineman running him down. That's all right, guys. Everyone has bad games. Cole's had a pretty good season, but yeah, he ended up in the bottom tier this week.
Yeah. All right, get on out, Adam. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Adam.
Adam Hoge out at Halas Hall, getting banished. And by the way, on that bottom tier, no surprise that Cairo Santos is there. Cody Whitehair, not his best day.
No.
Are we?
Not his best year. Not his best couple of years.
So, okay, let's talk about tons of cap flexibility. And I don't think Whitehair is going anywhere. And I don't think that Eddie Jackson's going anywhere. But, and there's a good piece in the Trib Brad Biggs did on Jackson. He's, moving around and still encouraging guys and staying active.
No
and
surgery.
No surgery on the Liz Frank, sir. Thank you. Which is the biggest news out of the whole thing. But then I'm looking at it. They don't have any guaranteed on money for Eddie, and it's $13 million. He's going to be 30 years old. I love Eddie. Big Eddie fan. But I don't think that's as much of – maybe it is a no-brainer because that's what everyone's saying and they like him. But to me, am I paying Eddie Jackson $13 million next year? I'm not 100%
You've got
certain.
the cap space. You've got a guy in your building. You've got a solution. You know what he is. You're not laying out really big money for a safety at that position.
It's pretty high.
But he still leads the team in tackles.
But it's
been
like
out
if you
for
were
a
to
few
replace
weeks.
him, you would have to go out and spend a lot more money in guaranteed money. So
Or play a rookie.
I
Which I
think
don't
he
think they wanna
showed
do.
with his
I mean-
play and his leadership enough to be brought back. I don't think Cody Whitehair is coming back next year. To me,
I would agree
hasn't
with Braggs
shown-
on that point.
He hasn't shown enough this season to
Like if you're going to pay
warrant-
somebody, you're going to pay Ejax and not Cody Whitehair, because you look at that offensive line and there's just so many different. Tevin Jenkins is really the only
and he's
for sure guy.
easier to cut to with his contract this season. But
Okay.
but he may just by depending on how many holes they have, so many holes to fill. He
I'm
may
not-
make it through the cut just from that. But I think of who's more replaceable. To me, Whitehair
Yeah.
easily over Eddie Jackson.
Yep.
They have a good safety tandem in him and Jaquan Brisker.
Again, I'm not out here, Mubs and company. I'm not saying cut Eddie, don't bring him back. But I do think like everything should be on the table as to how they're going to rework this roster and use the money to the very best of Ryan Poles' ability.
Sure.
And
The interesting thing to me about Eddie Jackson is that it's very rare in Chicago that a athlete dips in performance as much as he did, and then actually rebounds in public perception as much as Jackson did.
That's
this
true.
year.
I
I mean, I can't really think of a lot. I mean, who else comes to mind when I describe a player like that?
you're right. I mean, if this was a year ago, the chat would be like, cut him.
Right.
That's exactly what would be happening right now. But it's a major turnaround.
Talk
And-
about a guy that's bought into the Eberflus system. You know.
Yeah, and he's been a tremendous leader for the team.
Yep.
He's
Last year, every time I would go to Mariano's and see the Eddie Jackson cereal, I'd take a picture of it because it would be like, all right, they kept on putting on sale. It'd be like $2 for 2 boxes for $7, and it was like 3 boxes for $5, and went like all the way down to like 10 boxes for $1. Just please get this out of our store. And anytime I tweeted it, it was like guaranteed to blow up because people would be like, aha, look, this guy sucks, and also his cereal sucks. And now a year later, like people want him to stick around, so good for him.
yeah.
The
Okay.
cereal wasn't good.
I didn't try it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Bad cereal. All right. So if we're
Big
betting
Cocoa Pebbles guy.
on the CHGO December 20th ahead of the Buffalo Bills Tuesday show with Hoge out at Halas Hall, Lawrence wearing his Blackhawks, and you and your Chicago and CHGO and me doing
Just
whatever I'm
got
doing.
this shirt.
We're betting that Cody Whitehair is going to be an out and Eddie's going to be in.
At this point, I would say that yes.
That's where I'd bet it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yesterday, if you tune into Bears After Dark, we did cut him or keep him, and he was one of the 5 listed, and I chose cut him for Cody Whitehair.
What was the
The
rest
other
of it?
ones were Velas and Cairo and Alex Leatherwood and Tevin Jenkins.
What was the consensus on Whitehair?
Whitehair was cut him.
Okay.
What was Velas?
We both shimmied down to keeping him by default because the problem is the roster is so thin. Yeah. If they had a wide receiver depth
That wide
chart,
receiver position is just very
we
interesting.
only have
yeah.
2 wide receivers that you're going into next year with. Maybe N'Keal Harry, maybe Equinemius St. Brown, maybe. But at this point, you only have 2. So to say you're cutting Velas before you get the other 5 to fill out your
The thing
7
about
wide-
Velas is you could directly trace 3 losses to him. And I know he's a rookie, but, I mean, good Lord. And I know like Poles is not going to want to say, look, I effed up a 3rd round pick and send him on his way that quickly.
That's why I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
But now if they go into training camp and he's putting the ball on the ground at Halas Hall at camp, and then they go in the preseason game, he does it again, he'll be cut before the season starts. But I think he's going to make it to August.
I would agree. I think he'll be in training camp. I'm not sure about letting Whitehair go either. You got a lot of questions on that offensive line. He's a stabilizing factor, I would say.
If their roster was more filled out, a lot of these guys would be cut, no question. But the problem is they have so many holes to fill.
Right.
We don't know which holes they're going to be able to fill through free agency in the draft.
Right. All right, we got a lot to do here in the last however long we have for the show. So
4 minutes. So 4 super chats.
I didn't even get to weigh in on Justin Fields.
I know, we didn't. I know.
Entertaining plays.
So give me your list real quick. Let's go.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Well, like everyone basically who Braggs mentioned, I am a hockey guy, so I would add Jeremy Roenick, Patrick Kane, Marion Hossa, Jonathan Taves, Duncan Keith.
Does Savard make
You're
your list for you?
stopping your life for Duncan Keith?
Duncan
When he
Keith in
took the puck off his
2015
teeth.
when he was playing 27 minutes a night.
I know,
and it
but
was
it's like
watching that guy, his motor. I mean, not top level thrills, but just being like, good Lord, look at that dude.
I love dunks, but I just don't know if he's.
Well, that's why Urlacher was down on my list.
I mean, Duncan Keith was as exciting as a hockey defenseman could ever get.
Sure.
And also, I will remind you that he did score the game-winning goal in Game 6 of the 2015 Cup.
Oh, I was there.
As was I.
Had great seats. Sat in front of Philip Deneau.
He threw it in,
Hawk.
got the rebound, put it home.
Amazing.
It was a good moment.
If you're just clicking on or just somehow fast forwarding through the audio podcast, what we're talking about right now is sports athletes that you stopped for, or like I'm going to buy a ticket to see that person.
So here's the thing about Justin Fields, and this is why I didn't want to start off, and I ceded the floor to Greg and then never got it back, was because I would put Justin Fields at the bottom of the list of everyone we named today. Because while he has been, he has provided those moments that have been like, holy crap, this is awesome. Like somebody please hug me. I mean, Corey Wooten, watching him going nuts, that was freaking cool the other day. But we still haven't seen the game-winning drive, right?
Right.
We haven't seen the big win. I mean,
or wins
other than the Patriots, but the Patriots wasn't like a last-minute sort of thing. So for Justin Fields, like I don't need to see the wins this year, but to put him in that category and for him to make the jump past, I mean, right now I think he's a phenomenon, right? Right now he is in the phenomenon category, and to be like an actual Chicago legend, we're gonna need playoff. We're gonna need playoff. Whatever.
But Devin Hester had 20 kick return, punt return, total touchdowns in his career. Dynamic, the most amazing thing I ever saw as a Bears fan. Justin's had like 15 of those this year alone. He's the quarterback. We've never had a quarterback in this city, and that's where I think it starts to transcend. Yes,
I got you. But we're also just like we're 2 months into this, right? So to put him up with talking about Sammy Sosa and Michael Jordan, Frank Thomas, like that's just a different category.
100%. But the reason why he's in the conversation is the Bears are about to most likely lose their 8th, 9th, and 10th game of the year. And yet, for some odd reason, the Bears are still pretty entertaining to watch, and it's because of him. So that's where I'm like, who made you stop and actually watch things? And I think for the casual person right now,
if we're talking about one-man teams, he's at the top of the list. The only reason we're watching the Bears because we get paid to do it, but the only reason a majority of Chicago is still tuning into these games is to watch
is for him. For him. And so that just made me think, like, who, good season, bad season, who have I stopped for? If I go back to, being a kid, I mean, obviously MJ's going to be number one for me, and I prefer the 80s Bulls to the 90s Bulls as far as like pure like
Red Grange.
Thank you. Slow down. That's you're a funny man. But for me as a kid in the 80s, Andre Dawson was that 100%. The dude won the MVP in '87.
When I hit one over the fence, it's a true link fence.
It's true link fence, baby. Sean Dunston was that for me as a kid. Every time that dude came up, I was the
Shawano-meter.
I loved him. I loved Dunston. I did.
Okay.
I liked emulating him when I was playing Little League. I agree.
I was a huge.
I'd like to have a conversation about people who are a little further down the legend status, Because like if we're talking about Blackhawks, like Michael Frolik, I love that guy.
So well, that's
But
what
I don't think I'd bring Dunston up in this conversation.
But I'm just talking. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
for, like answering my own question. For me, people that I stopped for, Dunston was one of those people. McMahon, for sure. I absolutely. And then I put Walter in there, but I've got a weird thing going on with Gale Sayers in my family, which I'm not going to go into now because we don't have time. Hawks wise,
Save that for later.
Hawks wise, Savard and I like Bannerman would be like just like I'm not himself, but like I would like if you just heard Foley, like I would stop just for a Bannerman call. Rose, BG was in there, and then. And I got Joakim, and then I've got Fields, and I've got Tim Anderson, who I fell in love with.
What about Lawrence? What about Bob Probert?
I was actually going to jokingly bring up Proby.
I mean, I think that's
like,
when that dude was on the ice.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, what's going to happen?
yeah, let's frickin' go.
Yeah.
All right, so let me rip off these super chats here. This is from
sure.
earlier. Vibing with the Dogs was yelling at Braggs about. Did you not watch Walter freaking Payton?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so there was that answer.
Never saw him play.
Let's see.
Young.
Crystal
Wait,
kind of chimed in. She says, brick by brick. We got you, Braggs. So there you go.
I love Crystal.
As did the Duke for $9.99. Thank you,
Bring it
Duke.
in.
Braggs
The
with the
Braggs
bricks.
Super chat.
Rise and shine.
Take that. Whatever that guy's name was earlier.
And Crystal also threw this in for Carm. This is when we were talking about the lakefront Bears. She said, "So Carm, I'm with you. I wish we could stay on the lake. I just think it makes it Bear football, and it's in Chicago."
See,
But
me
I
and
think
Crystal, we just are we vibe.
Simpatico.
We are like, why would you want to go out to Arlington Heights when you can watch the Bears on the lakefront? I'm not talking to anyone.
We should send Carm to the game this Saturday. Honestly, for all this
Yeah.
talk about bear weather, I don't want a dome. Put your money where your mouth is and go to the game this Saturday. We should force him, honestly. That's the only way he can keep up with this no dome bit is if we force him to go to the game this Saturday.
And not
Was anyone listening 12 minutes ago?
No, we don't hear any of the other qualifiers.
and you've got to be in the upper deck. No luxury boxes or
on the windy side. Yeah.
where the wind,
Cadillac
where the wind
Club
off
or-
the lake is blowing at you. I don't want to hear any of the qualifiers. You don't want a dome. I don't want to hear the qualifiers. Send them to Soldier Field this Saturday.
We're talking
Great
about
content.
we're talking about a new stadium, which can be a dome on the lakefront. Even the mayor talked about that, so it's not like it's totally out there.
Ravi says send him shirtless. Yes,
live right-
Bears
you
fans
live
that
right-
have a
you
shirt
live right
on.
there.
Carm
I-
should be there shirtless.
I live right there. Sure.
You're going out there. Hit the Game Time app for tickets. I'm sure there's going to be plenty available. It's a holiday. It's going to be 20 below zero. Carm is going to be out there, no shirt, with Rise and Shine painted on his chest.
We're doing. Is this a real thing?
Yes.
I'm not like we're doing the show from we're working from home this week, so I'm going to be in my thing, which I literally could like do the pregame show and just walk right on over there and spend. How long do I have to
I
spend?
mean, this is great social content. People are going to be home. They're going to be wanting to know.
How long am I going to have to be there?
I'll tell you this much.
I mean-
if you go,
Three
I'll tell
quarters?
you this much, Carm. If you go,
Yeah.
I'll go. We'll
my.
go together, and
Oh,
we'll
there we go.
leave. To come back for post game in the second half.
I mean, we got a whole crew coming out here. James, you're in. All right, let's go. I'm in. You want to go? You want?
If you're serious and you do it,
Yeah.
I'll go if you go. We'll come back.
on the show.
The first couple games, I went to the game and left at the end of the third quarter and made it back.
But we're remote. We're not in studio
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
we're remote.
Well, me and
Blizzard.
So why don't you just go back to Carm's apartment?
Yeah, you could just come and hang in the
Snuggle.
hang in the abode on Christmas Eve. I'll get the fire going. I got a fireplace now. This is
I
big.
forgot about the whole Blizzard aspect.
And there's a blizzard too.
We
All
should
right.
send it.
You don't need to come.
By the way, people ask are we on a regular schedule this week? Yes. Tomorrow is gonna be a regular show, and then Nick and Will are gonna be with our preview on Thursday. Tomorrow night we are having our second ever CHGO Die Hard Happy Hour, and that is going to be built around Will DeWitt and Nick Moriano, although I think a lot of us are going to be there. That starts Wednesday at 8:15 p.m., and it's like a Zoom conversation. And if you're a diehard, you basically get to jump on. And last time we did it was pretty cool because it was like 30 people, so it wasn't too small, but it wasn't too big. And everyone, we just kind of just cracked a beer and had a conversation, not only with the CHGO, employees, but also all the CHGO diehards. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
All of us were there, so we're going to be in there tomorrow. If you have not made the jump to become a diehard yet, I would implore you to do so because it's pretty cool. One of our guys said, like, just having access to that one happy hour made it the diehard membership completely worth it. So
it was awesome, and it'll be great on Wednesday, and I will be there myself at least at some point.
Are you gonna wear your Sand God jersey?
No, but I just as we wrap up today,
can we just put this away now for the rest of the year?
Okay, we could fold it.
Weird.
We could fold it up, but hey, Jack, you had a great season. Get healthy, and we can't wait to see you
come back better than ever.
Yeah,
better than ever. 2023 Bears. We got to go. Cubs is coming up. So thank you, everybody in the chat. You were awesome today, as per always. Kevin, thanks for sitting in. Good to be with you, brother. Braggs, love you, buddy.
Love you too.
I
didn't even get to tell you that I may or may not know the Chiefs fan that is implicated in the bank robbery stuff. We'll save that for another day.
Well, the
pregame.
I figure we could just go sit over there and you can give me your list 11 through 20 on athletes that and just give a detailed thing. We can do that till 2:00. All right, we'll see you.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day.